What the hell? Is it a Friday?
The final Friday of the year.
Final Friday.
Yeah, it sounds like a fucking really shitty horror
Finale.
movie.
Nah. Final Friday, yeah.
I saw the final
Are
Friday.
we all going to die? Is that what it is?
I saw the final Friday,
We's
and they made
gonna
2 more
die.
movies after that shit.
The final podcast we're doing here in the year 2017, which a year of its ups and downs and all arounds.
That's right. But we're here to cover all the ups.
It is the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast, as you may have ascertained from some of the background noise. You might be saying, "Oh, cool! They said last week Samuel was going to be joining them." I can sure I could wait and know that there's going to be a whole lot of fight breakdown and analysis. Well, hate to really make you cry, but it is Ruben, the lady killer himself.
That's right. I've heard panties drop all across the internet just now when that name was announced.
Well, the funny thing is, because people who listen to the show, they like Samuel if they want fight breakdown. but for some reason, these goofy broads out there love it when Ruben is on.
Hey, ladies.
God damn it.
How's
So
it going?
how was your week?
Oh, man. I think I say, oh, man, every time you ask me. Because that's how I always feel when I'm at when
If
that
this
question's
upstage
asked
is
me.
last week, I'm going to be quite...
It won't.
Okay,
No. In comparison, the whole fucking... The year got closed out pretty quietly.
Hotel Transylvania.
Of course, New Year's Eve, we had to have something weird going on. Had some vehicles broken
New Year's
into.
Eve. Oh, Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, yeah. Shit, I'm living in the future.
I'm like, Jesus, man. So how was things
I'm
in the
still
future?
holding on to shit from a year ago.
Like Cliff from Back to the Future, holding on to some weird odds book, betting book.
Yeah, I had some vehicles broken into on fucking Christmas Eve.
So your Christmas turned out pretty good then.
Yeah, with calling the cops. Christmas Day, I'm talking to police, trying to show them security footage.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't you then.
No, it wasn't me. No, I do enough shit at that place. I don't need to do anything else.
I mean, it takes a real asshole to go, here it is Christmas Eve. Let's go ahead and help ourselves to some other people's shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I could tell because we have some pretty good security cameras at work. They did not look like top-tier folk.
Yeah.
And it was 3 women doing it.
All over, there's been a lot of Christmas-related crimes.
Yeah.
I've been seeing on...
Real? Well,
Clovis, too, had some camera footage.
no, then they had some fool like fucking with a gun break into one of the dairies around here and like accost like some worker.
Like, on the Bethel Highway, right?
Yeah.
And Clovis, all kinds of weird. It's getting weird. Like Albuquerque is
getting
starting to
weird.
spread down to here.
Yeah.
Damn, keep your Albuquerque over there in your damn Sandia Mountains.
Keep your Albuquerque out of my Portales.
Keep your Albuquerque out of my Portales.
Right.
Outside
shit.
of that,
Yeah.
kicking a meth head out of the hotel at about 3 a.m. Tuesday morning.
Which is usually like go time for them.
Yeah. Well, this motherfucker comes in and, fucking wearing black hoodie, backpack, and like work boots. Really odd combination. This was the day where we had that really good frost, the first frost, before
Okay.
that even harder one we had the next day. And I was like, what can I do for you, sir? 'Cause it's 3:30 in the morning. I'm going to acknowledge you, especially if you're coming in through the front door. 'Cause
Oh,
if
yeah.
you were staying at the hotel, you'd have a key to going through the side.
You have to, man. You have to.
He's like, oh, I'm just waiting on my mom.
Okay.
And he goes to proceed and sit down to our computer at our business center, which is basically the furthest corner in our lobby,
Right.
and plug in his phone and just kind of hang out. So I give him like 5 minutes. I'm like, it's cold outside. Clearly he just wants to charge his phone. I'm going to give him 5 minutes to get a charge in there, and then it's time to go.
Yeah.
So I said, what room's your mom in? The fucking dude gave me a room number that we don't even have.
Oh.
So I got 145. It's like, oh, man. Well, then she's clearly staying in the church next door.
Yeah, because you guys only got like 20
We
rooms.
go up to 127 on both phones.
Oh, okay.
We go up to 27. So I was like, all right, man, I'm sure you got a good enough phone charge. I know it's cold out there, but you got to go. I'm sorry. Private property. Go charge your phone somewhere else. Go the Holiday Inn and try it out.
Go fuck yourself.
Just, yeah.
Brandon's real good at politely saying, "Get the fuck out of here."
Well, hospitality is kind of my shit. I have to be. It's my job. I can't. It's just like what Dalton says in Roadhouse. You got to be nice until it's time to not be nice.
I like the fact that that's kind of your model for business.
Yeah, that's what the hotel is. It's Roadhouse without the bar fights or violence.
Well, a place where you don't have to say, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Because like, oh, you know what?
Closing
You
time.
can stay here. Never mind.
It's just going to cost you, but yeah, you're fully welcome to stay here.
Oh, all right. Well, it's good you got a calm week then.
So did he respond? Did he leave right when you told him to?
Well, he had to
Okay.
because Like then after that, then I get to be an asshole.
Right.
Like, look, get the fuck out of here right
Authority, man. Authority. That's to get the fuck out.
now. And it's my birth week. I'm fucking fully capable of just doing that. So
it.
thankfully, he left.
Wiping somebody out.
So anyway, boys, here's to beginning of the closing out of 2017. Tinks and tinks.
Here's to you.
Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly.
Ooh.
Good. So your week was all right then.
I would classify it as fine.
I had one of those interesting ones. I've been on vacation since Friday last week.
Lucky bastard.
I know, which I think I probably mentioned numerous times last week. I think.
Yeah, because that was when it began.
Because I was pretty wrecked. So, yeah. And it's fine. I've kind of just been hibernating. But you have that weird thing if you have to go to town, you have to start buying some groceries and shit and getting ready for like the New Year's weekend.
Right.
Inevitably, I run into people. Most people know what I do for a day job, but if you don't, I'm not going to expose it right now. But let's just say I'm kind of out there in the public eye quite a bit.
That's right.
And inevitably, I run into somebody. Hey, how come you haven't been at work lately? Blah, 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 blah. That's the shit I get to put up with.
Oh, bitch!
It's like, so shall I track you down when you're on vacation?
God, it's like, how important is it really to you?
Let me get those dates from you because, you know.
Oh, man.
It's every year. It happens every year. I run into at least one, if not 5 people when I just out trying to just buy shit to keep myself alive.
That's why I used to be a hermit, dude.
I had the similar experience. I went on vacation, and when I went back to work, all of my customers are like, "Where you been at, man? We haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?" All this, like, what the fuck? Gonna get interrogated just for taking a vacation?
I think it would be awesome to say, well, I had to travel to the Fortress of Solitude and deliver groceries. Superman was busy that week, so. No, but it's kind of a pain in the ass because I guess if you're like a lowly janitor, nobody's asking you why you haven't been pushing a mop. But
yeah, why haven't the floors been clean like you cleaned them lately?
So I guess it's a good sign that people are a little bit pissed that I haven't been at my particular occupation since last Friday.
Yeah, yeah, y'all are missed. I'm not.
Yeah.
When I'm gone for a week and a half, it's just like, oh.
Well, because it's a transient business you're in, though.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's a lot of repeat people that stay at the hotel, but they come here to work.
Right.
So they're not really remembering your face. They just want their waffle and get the fuck out of here.
That's right.
But it makes sense they miss you. If you brought the same charisma to Allsup's as you do to the Wine and Cheese event, it makes sense.
Yeah, we mentioned that heavily last week.
Hell yeah.
Master of Ceremonies, Ruben.
That's right. We made you the cover of last week's podcast.
Indeed. Looks like you were getting ready to give a speech and emptying out a wine bottle at the same time. There's few that can replicate that.
That's right.
Fidel Castro comes to mind.
I'm glad it was caught on
camera. Let's get into our 3 favorite subjects for the week. Mead. Well, we've done nothing.
Glug.
We've done nothing with long ships and troublemaker.
I had a fine bottle of Holly King last night.
Oh,
yeah.
Top notch.
Yeah, that one's, and I was going to put that one because we're kind of going to run down some top 3s. I was going to put that one in my top 3 of 2017, but we made that in 2016. So
yeah,
I've been sipping on some Green Man that I got a bottle from y'all about a week ago.
Nice.
I've been sipping on it a little every day.
Yeah, the Green Man. It's interesting because if you're from New Mexico, you'll probably love it. If you're not, you're not going to like it.
Yeah. And it makes sense.
With some exceptions.
It's culture. It's all culture.
It's all about the area. You know, you either love green chili infused things or you don't.
Right. No, and I understand it's kind of a little bit of a niche for a lot of people, but what are you going to do?
That bottle of Troublemaker from 2016 we broke out for the first snow we had.
Yeah.
That was all right.
Yeah, I mean, we would probably really do ourselves a favor to make a whole shitload of mead and let it age a year in bottle and then put it out.
If we could get that cycle going, that would be great.
It's
difficult to pull off, though.
We would have to accept the fact that we're doing nothing but losing money for a solid year, and that's a tough kind of a tough road to hoe.
We leave the aging process up to our contributors.
Yeah, and there are some batches that now if we say, look, you're not going to want to sit on this one too long, please drink it.
Yeah, because it's all about the balance of the flavors we have in there. Those will change and shift as time passes.
Right, and the sweeter the batch, the less time you can sit on.
I mean, Holly King's kind of shown that in a good way. I mean, like a year later, the flavors are beautifully balanced. Or it's like Runestone, where the vanilla is basically gone.
Right.
But it was their first bottle we cracked after we finished bottling and labeling.
Yeah. Yeah, Runestone got real orangey real fast.
Yeah, real orangey. And since
but I do think, though, for what we have, if those sit for like a year, just saying, I think that would be really, really background. And we'd have a weird, crazy, deep honey flavored thing with a little tinge of orange on the back end of it, which might be really nice.
Right. Yeah, because the orange, like you said, really surged out.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the prominent flavor now. And it's kind of on the bitter end because we just use orange peel.
Yeah.
I would say my top three would be, the obvious ones. I think this year Green Man's actually
Green Man's
one.
my number
Green
one.
Man.
Yeah. I could put Holly King number 2, but I gotta agree with you. That was a last year batch, but it has gotten amazing.
Yeah.
Batch one to me is
See, that's my number 3.
batch one is just awesome.
I have batch 1 at my number 2 and Runestone at my number 3.
See, we just kind of flip-flop on that. I got Runestone at 2. But yeah, that's kind of the 1, 2, 3 that we have right there.
Yeah, our best batch of Green Man yet.
Yeah, and it's the hottest one yet, too.
Yeah, that's why I love it.
Got a nice little spice.
God, man, it clears you out.
It's good thing or bad thing.
Because I drink a whole. I drink a whole bottle. There's nothing left for me the next day.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it's not fun on the bathroom time. It sucks. But man, it works better than milk and magnesia. I'll tell you that.
I tried cooking with a little bit of Green Man, and
that's where it's at.
that's where it's at.
If you're doing any kind of pork that requires braising or anything like that,
Green Man.
Shit.
Green Man is
Damn
the
right.
shit. If you're doing ribs, if you're doing some kind of a pork loin that you braise or whatever, although I mean that's a little bit delicate, but I mean any kind of pork shanks, yeah, it's gonna work.
Fuck yeah, that mead is very versatile.
Yeah, I would go like if you're wanting to put together like a braising liquid right now for any kind of ribs, short ribs, baby backs, whatever. I'd go about a quarter of a bottle of Green Man. Go pretty heavy on the Worcestershire, a little bit of soy sauce into that. Probably go a little heavy, about 3-4 cloves of garlic.
Fuck yeah.
And maybe a little bit, maybe a teaspoon of some brown sugar, and then mix that together pretty well. Throw it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Yeah, there you go.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, and that one's free, folks.
Yeah.
That's a free recipe.
Yeah. No, and it's one I commonly.
And we might have to post that on the Facebook page.
Yeah,
that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Is that what you did when you made the ribs the last time?
pretty similar. Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah, because you take baby backs and you take a long stretch of foil and you kind of double wrap them, but you make sure the ends are open. You can open them up. You kind of roll them shut and you can roll them back open. Well, you roll the one shut on the far end and you pour your braising liquid in, 250 for a rack of ribs for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Check it. When the bones start kind of moving around, you're able to almost pull them out. It's done.
God damn, that's amazing.
Yeah. But you got to have the right rub and everything else. There's a lot of factors into making the perfect stack of ribs on that. So
That's why I never bother. I mean,
come over here because especially after next week because I go back on the keto diet.
Oh,
so
fuck yeah.
It's gonna be a meat eating household over here.
That'll be all right. Be like, yeah, all right. Poke braised everything. Yes, please. Thank you.
Let's move on to metal, shall we?
Dun 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 dun.
It's been a great year, I think.
2017 has been the best year for metal enthusiasts, I would say, easily in 5 years.
Yeah, I'd say between July and October, we were getting fucking spoiled.
Yeah. Well, now, everybody would point out, last year Metallica's record came out in November. Blah, blah, blah. I know. And that saved 2016. It didn't make 2016 a great year.
No. If anything, just made it all right.
2017.
It ended well.
2017 has been a pretty amazing year. Second half. Well, even first half.
First half was all right. Slow starter.
I don't know. There were some pretty great releases first quarter, maybe into the second quarter of the year. Emperor of Sand came out, obviously. Mastodon, that was a big one. But the problem is we were looking too forward to it.
Yeah, they put out that first single and it just blew us away. We're like, I want this album to be this.
Yeah.
But then again,
turned out that was the best track on the record.
And then 5 minutes later, we're like, but shit, you're going to put your best song out there for your single to get people hyped, which it worked.
Do you remember what track it was?
Certainly wouldn't Show Yourself.
No. Show Yourself's one of the worst ones. Yeah.
That was the first single.
No, it wasn't.
Yourself? No?
It was Sultan of
Sultan's
Curse.
Sultan's Curse. Yeah, right.
That was a jam.
Yeah.
But the rest of the album didn't hold up to it.
Yeah, it really kind of started to go downhill. It was like when they put out the second single, it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, which
will show
actually
yourself, I think.
biggest disappointments of the year, Mastodon's Emperor's Sand is probably number one for me.
Yeah.
I didn't really conjure up a list for that, but as far as album disappointments,
A lot of hype and not a lot to
and I
back
mean,
it up.
and I understand that like the majority of the populace loves that album. That's great.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it keeps Mastodon successful and keeps them working.
Yeah, we're a little discerning over here, so.
Yeah, like we're pretty. We keep our shit up at a high standard.
Yeah.
As far as we're concerned.
Right.
I don't want to sound like we're the fucking end
Like
all
we're,
be
we're
all
a
on
bunch
metal.
of assholes.
Yeah,
we sound like
prog rock fans is what we do.
That's it.
But and another album I'd put on that biggest disappointment list just because we knew it was going to happen. Fucking 4 Seasons, Winter Sun.
Oh, that was this year.
July.
That was probably pretty horrible, which is really weird. I sent you something the other day because I have the whole time hop thing off my social media telling me,
Yeah.
fucking exposing some of my bullshit from years past is what I would put it. But I'd said, yeah, my top 3, and this was back in 2012, so 5 years ago. And I listed my top 3 in 2012 as number 1, Winter Sun, Time 1.
Yeah.
Which is a great record. I'm not.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm not taking anything away.
No,
from
that
Time
2012 was a great year.
That one, Time 1, still remains one of my favorite ones of all time. From probably the biggest bunch of assholes that probably have ever put together a sauna.
Yeah.
But
And boy, do they have it.
Yeah. Number 2, I had Insafirm, Unsung Hero. Unsung Heroes is number 2 because at that time I thought, well, surely Insafirm is going to really find their mark, and there were a couple of tracks on that I really liked.
Yeah. Well, this was at a time when that like battle metal kind of style of music making, because that was also when you were kind of big into Tear as well.
Yeah.
You were still into that.
Yeah.
But your number 3.
Number 3 was actually kind of a little bit of an oddity because it's not a band that I'm usually big on. It was Periphery.
The Periphery
second.
2.
Yeah.
This time is personal.
Yeah. Which
I blame
think
myself for that one.
Yeah, well, I primarily think that 2012 was kind of not a great year outside of really probably Winter Suns.
Yeah, because 2011 was when Moonsorrow put their album out.
The joint of whatever, blah, 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 blah. Because since their shit's all unfinished. Yeah, no, 2011, it would have been Moonsorrow hands down.
Fuck yeah.
And 2012 worked out being a really good year because Winter Sun finally put out an album after disappointing their fans for 8 years.
Yeah, and it was amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, Land of Snow and Sorrow
and then
is
Winters, and then
great.
Time 2 was supposed to come out 6 months later.
Yeah, because it was already written and recorded.
Supposedly. So,
And here we are, 5 years later. We got 4 seasons. I hope you all enjoyed that.
which, as we all know, was just a big money grab by the band. If you
worked.
think otherwise, you are so full of shit.
Suffering from some serious musical Stockholm syndrome.
My God. Yeah. So, that being the case, 2012 was a pretty impressive year. Other years, apparently, I didn't run a lot of top 3s because I couldn't find them. Maybe it'll
The
pop
liquor
up.
just blinded us. We were just listening to Thurgood and shit.
God. All right. So, top 3 of the year records I have.
I think, why don't we go round table? Third, second, first. Start with Ruben here.
Okay.
Because, Ruben, I tasked you with making a top 3. You've had about a half hour. What's your third favorite album of 2017?
Of 2017, I'll go with Guar's the new album that Guar put out.
I don't know why I had a feeling you were going to have Gore on this list somewhere. What do you think of their new singer after Brocky died?
I like him. You know, he's been a part of the band since he was the original Beefcake the Mighty back in the 80s. He's been in and out of the band for a long time, so he knows what they're all about.
Yeah.
Like I said, he has the same wittiness and sense of humor as Odorous.
Yeah.
And
that's important.
Yeah.
Because Odorous Urungus was the guy that held that old band together, in my opinion. I'm surprised they're still around and put out a new album after.
And I think you have to have a sense of humor if you're in that band to start with. So.
You just have to.
Yeah. When you're based out of Richmond, Virginia, you got to have a fucking sense of humor.
And it's the 14th album that they've put out, Guar.
Put on our Mead helmets.
Came out October 20th, and it's getting a good response from the loyal fans.
Yeah, but what about your response? I want to know
I have a good response for what because it's true to the style of Guar. It's that gritty rock. It's metal and gritty rock and roll. The new album,
and it's fun.
It's called Blood of the Gods. There's a lot of parodies in there. There's a lot of witty humor. You got to have a fucked up, demented sense of humor to get to enjoy. Guar's
come to the
music.
right place. All right,
But I do recommend. I recommend it. Go check out Guar's new album, Blood of the Gods.
my number 3. That sounded like goddamn advertisement, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
My number 3.
Ruben's on the take.
My third favorite album, 2017, Spirit Adrift.
Yes. Hey,
Curse
we match.
corruption.
We match.
Fives.
Fives. Whoops. Fives. Kind of concerned with that.
Yeah.
It's like T-Rex arms over
Yeah,
there.
fuck yeah. This is like King Arthur's table here.
Your spirits are adrift.
That album, in my opinion, blends about 4 different musical genres together pretty well.
Yeah.
It might not be the best doom metal album I've ever heard, but I could put it on so many genres lists of like hard rock, metal, doom, even a little bit of prog in there.
I think it's definitely got a lot of influence from 80s rock too.
Sure.
Or 80s metal. I can just hear a lot of things going
Yeah,
on.
like
with it.
I can hear some Iron Maiden theme, kind of like guitar dueling like choruses going.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron Lambert, who writes for Metal Injection once in a while, he kind of really got big on it before that even came out. He's like, this is one that's really going to kind of maybe be the top one of the year. And he wasn't too far off. I mean, it falls third on my list, but they have a lot of things to like and very few things to dislike.
Right.
I mean, if I want to tear it apart, I can tear apart everything.
Oh, sure.
So-
I can find something wrong with Metallica on the Reg.
Sure.
But
the thing is, overall, the things that I do like really just outnumber in an outlandish way the other ones that are on that list. So.
yeah. No, I agree. Like I said, when I think I can't remember you. I think did we stumble across it? Possibly,
Yeah,
or
it-
did
well,
you
from
no
Aaron-
from
from
Metal
Aaron Lambert.
Injection? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, that was one of our weekly release gems.
Yeah.
Yeah. So second favorite album, 2017, Ruben Gonzalez. You're up.
I discovered a band this year called Dead, which is D-E-D. It's not spelled D-E-A-D. It's D-E-D. They're a new metal band from Tempe, Arizona, and they just dropped Misanthropy. However you pronounce it, misanthropy, that word.
Actually, that's kind of
Misanthrope.
bizarre because
Misanthrope.
dudes from Spirit Adrift are from right in that same area. So.
Oh, wow,
Oh,
shit.
yeah?
They're from Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah, they.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Their new album, Misanthrope, Misanthropy. I heard this first single, a song called Anti Everything on Sirius XM, and it really caught on to me. This band, this is a band that's caught my attention this year, and this is an album that I haven't heard the whole album, but I've heard at least half of it so far,
Yeah.
and I'm liking what I hear.
Oh, not bad.
That's Dead. Misanthrope by Dead is my second pick.
Good.
All right, my number 2. And, it's funny, we were talking yesterday. I was like, I think my number 3 is going to be really difficult. But after I did some soul auditing,
Due diligence.
the number 3 became a lot more clear. My number 2 is Elder.
Hey, look at that. We're matched.
Did you do it?
Yes.
Really? Oh, come on, man.
Reflections on a Floating World.
Yeah. I've listened to it today.
They say all assholes think alike.
Well, I was doing my homework. Well, you wouldn't find it truer.
No, you're fucking wrong. They say great minds think alike. That's that.
Great
As
ass-
usually
great
great
assholes.
minds are assholes.
Great assholes.
That's the thing. Yeah, Reflection of Floating World. I found out. I think I actually through you discovered Elder this year.
Weren't you jamming that when I got here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like that.
Lore was a really great album. Came out like 2 or 3 years ago.
I like what I've heard of Elder.
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar with them as y'all are, but I do like what I've heard so far.
They're definitely a doom metal band. I mean, that's kind of got to be your thing. You're not going to hear a lot of upbeat shit, coming out of these guys. But the talent level of what they put together is kind of one of the things.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They can paint a landscape with their music.
Yeah.
That, I mean, if you enjoy jazz cigarettes, Elder is going to take you places.
Left-handed cigarettes.
That's right. I mean, they're going to take you places.
Yeah.
When you let me listen to Lore, it was just like, oh my gosh. And I got to admit, Elder kind of fell kind of behind all the other, because there were so many other new releases that came out that were mind blowing this year.
Yeah. No, this is a tough year. If you're falling anywhere in the top 3, you've done good.
Yeah, and then I go back and listen to Reflections of a Floating World. And I'm like, God damn, this was a good album.
Yeah.
And I think having that kind of time away from it, from being, having it in my ear every other day,
Right.
really just packed even more punch when I listened to it again today.
Yep. No, it's definitely. I don't know that it holds up to lore, but it's, by God, it's great.
It certainly is. I wouldn't put it above it or below it. I think it is shoulder to shoulder with it. All right, Ruben Gonzalez,
What's
your number one, your favorite,
Numero uno.
your favorite.
Cradle of Filth dropped.
Not surprising.
Dropped their extreme. They dropped their 12th album on September 22nd. It has a very long title, Cryptoriana: The Seductiveness of Decay.
Yeah.
And,
Ruben's not reading this from his cell phone, by the way.
No. This all comes
all
from
from his mind.
From my mind. Good album.
Well, you've always liked Cradle of Filth. I think
Yeah.
you got From the Cradle to Enslave EP, which is the only album Cradle of Filth's ever put out that I actually really like.
I've been a fan
This
since
is like 96.
Yeah.
I caught on to Cradle when they dropped Cruelty and the Beast. That was, 97? I've been
Yeah.
a fan since the mid-90s.
Yeah, From the Cradle to Enslave is a great song.
Oh, yeah, that's the one that you
I really like
enjoy.
that song a lot. And Amphetamine's a good song, too. It has that lady from Leaves' Eyes in it.
Yeah, this is
Liv
this
Christine,
is this is
Lay of Our Love singer.
Oh yeah.
this
okay.
is definitely
Me
the
too.
album that I'm feeling this year, man. I'm dancing all over the place about it.
Well, good man. Good man. Well, like I said, that's pretty solid. Gwar. These are basically bands you've loved since I've known you.
Bands that I've followed
Yeah,
pretty much
2 out of
for
3.
for decades.
It had been a good year for you because all of those bands put out a record this
Yeah.
year. So yeah, 2017 a good year.
And now, the number one for me, which I'm
And
sure
Positive is probably mine.
fucking A right, Yoko Ono's latest
There
release.
you go.
Now, of course, it's fucking Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer, Heartless.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's interesting how it's downplayed in a lot of the experts. That
Yes,
put
a
out
lot of their
reviews.
lists. Yeah, because, now is the time for lists, and boy, they have come out.
Yeah.
A lot of them come out.
Now I don't know if it's the fact that they're kind of punished a little bit by putting us out in March. I don't know if that's it. I really think it's because of the fact that a lot of people overlook what's really going on, and a lot of people just flat don't like a droning long song.
Yeah.
Well, that means you're not going to like doom metal.
And Heartless is not as heavy as Foundation's Burden.
I think Foundation's Burden is a lot heavier.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I got a copy of Heartless and I like it.
Oh, did you buy it? Oh, no, you found it on the
Yeah,
ground.
you borrowed it.
Some
She YouTubed it.
it magically came to me.
Oh lordy.
But, yeah,
I can listen to Heartless beginning to end.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let me throw something out there real quick. When y'all remember when I designed the runestone the cover for it, whatever.
Yep.
When I was designing it, I was listening to that Heartless album from beginning to end. So
Nice.
it was kind of it inspired
Paul Bearer infused
it inspired
runestone.
my
That's a thing of power.
my art. So yeah.
But yeah, I can listen to that album beginning to end.
That was bizarre though. You and I had identical. Well, granted it's only 3, but
Yeah.
still.
I did have Spirit Adrift at number 2 because I felt like that was solid. But after listening to Elder again, I was like, God damn it! I totally forgot how amazing this album.
Doom metal's big in the Mead realm.
Now I have notable mentions. I put on Black Sabbath at the end because that's going to be
That's it.
That's
it.
Did that come out this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie and the DVD.
Yeah,
the CD.
and another notable mention, and I was really trying to figure out a way to work this in the third spot. It's great, but I don't know that it usurps Spirit Adrift, and that's Mastodon, Cold Dark Place.
Yeah, I couldn't put an EP on my top 3.
I know that's the one thing that held me back. I thought,
Yeah,
this is not a full length album,
This is all things Mastodon felt didn't fit on albums they were releasing at
and
the time.
it turns out being better than the shit that was on Emperor of
Fucking
Sin.
A, right. I mean, yeah, that's it. If it was a full album, it'd be in my list.
Yeah,
And it'd be if it was a top 10, it'd be well above Emperor's Sand. I'll tell you that.
EP. I just couldn't bump Spirit Adrift for that.
Yeah, but
so,
it deserves mentioning, and I think we gushed all over it
yeah.
when it came out. I mean, it's That one song, I can't remember the name of it. Ruben's mind just went to a real
Gosh,
dirty place.
I like that.
It went to a cold, dark place.
Gosh,
It went to a cold, dark place.
I'm gushing all
That
over
movie
things.
with the steel guitar, it's
right.
It just is like shit.
All right, let's move ourselves to the MMA portion of the podcast. The top 3. Now, we went top 3 fight cards of the year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know. I think we discussed maybe top 3 fighters here, but I mean, shit, results kind of speak for themselves. I put together cards.
So did I.
Okay. Well, since Ruben's probably going to be a little bit off his stool on this one, top 3 fight cards of the year. For number 1, I had UFC 217 Bisping versus Georges St. Pierre.
Oh, yeah. Noted. Fuck, yeah, that same thing for me.
I mean, that one's going to go down. 217 will go down as one of the best cards all time in the top 10 of all UFC cards ever, I think.
And had the biggest upset of the year. Rose Namajunas taking out Joanna in the first fucking round.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
7-1 underdog. If you bet on Rose that night, especially if you took like a prop bet, like first round knockout, you made some money.
oh, yeah.
Because it was just 7-1 for her to win.
And kind of broke Joanna because now she's talking about wanting to fight now at
At flyweight.
at 125.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, that's the thing these days. Fucking champions that have been on the fucking throne for so long, they get dethroned. They're like, no, I don't need to be here anymore. I need to go somewhere else.
I think Rose Namajunas is kind of taking the T.J. Dillashaw kind of approach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real heavy hands with wrestling ability, but those hands are fucking what's dangerous,
And she can take you down and put you to sleep.
But that's what I had for number 1.
And that would also be, if we were doing a list for it, my biggest upset of the year. Rose Namajunas taking out Joanna.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I both thought going to that fight, like, oh my God, this is going to be a bad night for Rose.
Yeah, not if, but when.
Yeah.
We were wrong. I think we were wrong on all 3.
Yeah.
Well, no,
potentially.
the GSP. I think we had picked.
No,
GSP.
I picked GSP on that one.
Just because we don't like Bisping.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
Then we saw
right.
what happened to him after that.
But it was just a legendary card. Number 2 I had, and this is kind of funny if you want to bring this one up since you're the one with the laptop, was UFC on Fox 23.
Yeah.
This was way back in January. This was the Shevchenko versus Pena card, which was okay. But if you look at all the finishes on that card, that thing was crazy. There were like 2 decisions. Everything else was a finish on that. And for a Fox card.
The Sam Alvey fight went the distance.
Yeah.
That and the Asunciao Aljamain Sterling fight. All the lower card stuff, but once you hit the main card, everything was. I mean, Valentina tapped out Pena with the armbar. Masvidal TKO'd fucking the Cerrone.
Yeah.
It's when Ngannou beat Arlovsky. Yeah, there was a lot of finishes when
That
they
was
went
a
live.
crazy, crazy fight. And I remember I had to do some searching for that one today. I was like, I seem to remember something way back in like January or February where there were just finishes left and right. And that was it. And it was Fox on 23. Yeah. So
my number 2 card of the year, and I might be a little biased on this just because I happen to fucking be there, was the Ultimate Fighter Redemption card.
Right. Well, I knew you would pick that one.
Oh, damn
I
right.
was actually kind of shocked that wasn't
I would have made it number 1, but I didn't want to be too biased just because I was there. It was the greatest card of the year.
Right.
The whole night, I mean, really being there and experiencing a fight card, a televised fight card for the first time.
Right.
In the organization that is the top organization right now.
Sure.
It was amazing. I've been a fan. I mean, when it went to the dark ages between like 2008 and 2011, up until when Mark Hunt fought Bigfoot in that 5-round war, that was when I was back.
Right.
Everything else, I was just like, oh yeah, I like MMA, but I'm not going to watch it every weekend. I got better shit to do. I got beer to drink and
Sure.
ladies to find.
Well, I didn't get back in the sport again because I'd kind of dropped in 2010. I didn't get back till summer 2013.
Yeah.
And I got to say, this past year, I think, has been probably – it's easy to look back and get nostalgic and go, oh, man, 2015 was such a great – 2016 was such a great – 2017 was a pretty good year.
It was. It finished really fucking strong.
Yeah.
Even the most the card we watched, that most of us watched, the RDA Lawler card was really good. We saw Ricardo Lamas just get obliterated. That was on free TV.
Well, And he got obliterated in my third favorite, too, which was UFC 214, which was the Jones-Cormier fight.
Which, by the way, real quick, Justin Gaethje, Michael Johnson for me, fight of the year. Fight of the year.
Yeah. Maybe. God, what the that Cowboy Oliveira fight that he had with the guy that's going to be fighting Cerrone, right?
Oh, Majerus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one probably goes down as my number one of the year, but I don't really have a top three in front of me, but Yancy Medeiros is just that fight. Oh my God, I counted him out like 5 times easily.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I know. It was.
I mean, that was off of 217. So yeah. But yeah, I would put 214 Jones Cormier. That was a great card. That was probably back in like August, I think. So
Yeah, it was back in August. Yeah, that was actually. I mean, that wasn't bad. It was still. It was one of those fight cards like, I'm going to watch it because I'm a fan, but I don't have any expectations for it. So anything that's like moderately good, it's gonna get you jacked.
yeah.
And it all overall was a great card.
I mean, it's sad that that Jones apparently was using some weird ancient steroid from the 90s or some bullshit. But I mean, but overall, I mean, and he goes in and he shows Cormier that's one more guy. That's just one guy that he can't beat.
Right. Yeah. My third is and this was kind of tough because everything else was moderately like good. Nothing really stood out. But I have to give the UFC 216 card the third spot on my list.
Yeah.
Seeing Tony Ferguson go in and tap out Kevin Lee, who had a staph infection at the time.
Yeah.
But they let him fight.
Sure.
But outside of the John Moraga and Magomed Bibulatov fight, the FX card, the prelims, were all decisions and a draw.
Yeah.
And even the main card opened with the Dariush Evan Dunham fight, which was a draw, but not because it was boring, because they went to fucking war.
Yeah.
And then after that, submission. It was a night of ground game.
Yeah. 216's your card if you want to see some masterful work on the ground. Yeah.
I mean, Verdun tapped out Walt Harris, and Walt Harris got put in that fight like 3 or 4 days before.
Yeah. No, that one you kind of have to give a pass.
Mighty Mouse motherfucking Johnson comes in and does the most unique flying arm bar. I mean, like had him in a back suplex.
Mid-air.
Throws him up in the air, twerks him, arm bar on the ground. Ray Borg is done. This is the 5th round, by the way.
Yeah.
This didn't happen in the first round. This happened at the end of the fight.
And that broke Anderson Silva's record.
Yeah.
Title offenses.
Which means 2018, there's one fight that
there's only one fight to make, and it's got to be TJ Dillashaw. And Mighty Mouse can't try to shirk on this one.
No, I think it's time. I bet you he's been getting ready for this fight ever since he beat Ray Borg.
So there we go. That's our top 3 on MMA. I do want to point out we're going to be in Austin for the UFC card there. Interesting fight that was added there. Yancy Medeiros. It's now the headliner. It's Yancy Medeiros against Donald Cowboy Cerrone. That will be the top fight at that card. That was announced.
God damn, man. They are just setting him up to... I really feel like Cerrone's just getting fed to the wolves, man.
Maybe.
I really do.
Maybe. Well, this is one where he's got to either get his shit together or it's time for him to figure out where he's at in his career. He said he's going to go back down to 155, but apparently this one's going to be at 170. So
yeah,
he's going to be a little undersized again. I don't know that he's got the tank to fight a guy like Medeiros.
I don't know if he has the will.
That might be too.
I mean,
Yancy Medeiros
is he going to be in Santa Rosa hanging out?
No,
might be a little chilly for that shit, but hell, he might give it a shot.
Wintertime cards might be Cerrone's take, because he's not at the lake all the time.
That might be it. This dude needs to just fight in the cold months. Put him up on like UFC Anchorage.
Now, Vic, not Michael Vick,
James Vick,
yeah. The Texecutioner, at Madison Square Garden, he had called out that he wanted to be the headliner at the Fox card in Austin. He called that like months ago. And then he got pissed when they didn't give him Cerrone, and they got even more pissed when they didn't make him a headliner. Look, the guy's from Fort Worth. He's going to fight.
Sure.
He'll be on that card.
I mean, that's what UFC likes to do. Yeah. If they're in Singapore, you're going to see a lot of fighters from the area on the card that you've never heard of.
So, looking forward to that. I think we'll have more on that, obviously, as we get into 2018.
Now it's time to close out the year proper. Let's talk about UFC 219 tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. I have my cheat sheet.
Ruben, you can wake up now. Ruben's not a huge fan of MMA.
Right.
I like it, but I just don't know shit about it.
He'll watch it with friends. You're kind of like Carrie. You're a casual fan.
Yeah.
You're not a nerd like we.
Well, and if you're certain fans of this podcast, don't go turn it off when Ruben starts talking about MMA. 'Cause we experienced that with that one person mentioned just a moment ago.
Right. Yes. Yeah, dude. So, yeah, I got the card here. We got one fight on Fight Pass.
Yeah.
Tim Elliott, who's known for taking Mighty Mouse to the limit.
Right.
I mean, he came pretty close to having the biggest upset ever.
Right.
But, of course, Mighty Mouse kicked it in the gear and took care of business.
But he's got actually a legit opponent on this one for a fight.
Mark
pass.
De La Rosa?
Yeah. I mean, I don't like De La Rosa in the fight. I do like Tim Elliott on that one.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It is what it is. It's a fight pass prelim. If these guys want to get off the fight pass prelims and onto the prelims, get a win.
Yeah. Well, Tim Elliott needs one. He's after that. He wasn't able to use his performance against Mighty Mouse to his advantage.
Yeah. Right.
Miles Jury fighting Rick Glenn. Miles Fury Jury.
Yeah. Man, Rick Glenn is somebody you don't want to look past, but Miles Jury actually, I would have picked Glenn in a heartbeat like a year ago, but Miles Jury's kind of turned things around a little bit.
He's one of those that have been around for a little bit. He's 29.
He's not great against the top 5, but if it's anybody in the back of the pack, he's all right.
And dude was undefeated before he fought Cerrone and Charles Oliveira.
Yeah.
Did beat Mike De La Torre at 210. April, December, that's a pretty good layoff.
He's like a top 10 gatekeeper, I hate to say it, but
yeah, but goddamn, before those two, he was undefeated.
Yeah.
You know, he was doing pretty well.
Well, those two will take it out of you, though.
God, Michael Johnson is on everybody's fight history at 155.
Yep.
So yeah, Miles Jury in that. Outside of that, we got Louis Smolka fighting.
I like Smolka over Nicolau.
That's why. Marvin Vittori fighting Omari Akhmedov.
That's that cat from Italy, yeah?
I think so.
Yeah, he's been a little bit shocking here lately. He's got pulled off a couple of wins as basically the UFC's only Italian fighter. I mean, Akhmedov is somebody to look out for, but man, I like Vittori in that fight, actually.
Trains out of Jackson Wink. Actually, as of right now, he's in American Top Team, which, gets pretty good. And he's also a Rusky. And the Russian blood seems to be surging right now,
Yeah.
Just be contrarian. I'm going to go Akhmedov on that.
All right.
Let's see. Khalil Roundtree fighting Mikhail
Osechik.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, you get the gold star for the day, sir.
Yes. Eastern European names. That's my bag.
God damn it. Yeah, I'm going to go Khalil Roundtree on that one.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. Now, the handy thing is you might be going, all right, that sounds like a pretty weak undercard. And you're right. It's not great. But the thing is, when we hit the main card here, that's when things kind of start to fall into place.
Yeah, I mean, granted, we did lose the Lineker-Rivera fight.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks.
Which really was – can Lineker – can he make it a career to, like, I don't know, start fighting, like, or being a full fighter, like, make weight and
put the whole package together, yeah. Well, you're in the UFC. You figure you can do that.
And he can't. Is he still trying to 125? Was that when?
It's
an illness, which is odd because it was 24 hours before a weigh-in. That always looks odd. So.
Yeah, it's always kind of shifty.
The visual is just never.
It never matches up.
Right.
Main card, pay-per-view at welterweight, which I'm really looking for his fight. I'm a big Carlos Condit fan.
I like it because Dan Hardy's been breaking this fight down.
Oh, shit.
You got to be a real MMA fan to know that joke.
I mean, Carlos Condit has had a real rough go of it. As this guy is 2-5 in his last 7.
Considering I thought he beat Robbie Lawler.
That derailed everything.
Yeah.
I really feel like it did. Him not getting that belt, but he was so gassed in that fight. And Robbie Lawler did what he did.
Wait until round 5 and
flurry, and champion's advantage, which we talk about quite a bit here.
Yeah. Now I will say this though, is that in this fight, these are two guys. Both of them need a win in a big way.
Yeah,
because he's fighting Neil Magny,
right?
Who's coming off a big loss last time out too.
Yeah, fought RDA, lost arm triangle, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Hendricks, lost to Larkin. Before that, he beat Gastelum, split decision, and then TKO'd Hector Lombard, which is kind of a tough thing to do. That dude is all neck muscle.
But it's not even what you did 5 fights ago. What did you do last fight? And that's kind of where these guys have both got to get some shit figured out.
Absolutely. Well, Condit loses here. I feel like he's done. He's already talked about retirement.
I thought he was already retired, but they kept him on the active list, and then sure enough, he shows up on a card.
I mean, he got tapped by. I think getting subbed by Maya kind of fucked with his brain a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's not going to have to worry too much. I don't think Neil Magny's he'll grab the submission of us there, but he's not necessarily a guy that's going to be looking
Neil
for
Magny's really like poor man Uriah Hall, and Uriah Hall's kind of like poor man's everybody. It's like, man, when those spinning kicks land, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Coming up after that, women's strawweight fight: Cynthia Cavillo fighting Carla Esparza.
Carla Esparza, the first ever women's strawweight.
Until Joanna came and fucking ruined all that. And then Rose came and ruined all that.
Esparza has looked terrible against everybody after the Ultimate Fighter got over.
Yeah. I feel like she hasn't advanced.
No. So I like Cynthia Calvillo in this.
What are you doing over there?
Looking a little Pornhub. That's why.
Would you
like
to go in the living room, bud? You know there are microphones everywhere, right? And I'm wearing headphones. I would like to see Carla Esparza finally get on the winning track here.
Yeah,
but she never recovered from. She won that belt, loved having that belt, and then Joanna beat the shit out of her and took it away from her.
And she's looked terrible ever since.
Yeah,
right.
off and on. I mean, she beat Morose, but these are all decision wins lately or losses.
So we have Dan Hooker, Mark Diakese.
This one could be violent.
This is one that would ordinarily, I think, be on the prelim card.
Yeah.
But they wanted to bury what might very well be, if you're not kind of on your screws with MMA knowledge, this is going to be a really good fight.
Yeah. And I think it was on the prelims originally until the Lineker-Rivera fight got pulled because that was on the main card.
Ooh, well,
they bumped one up. That's why we got one fight on Fight Pass prelims now.
Okay. Well, that one's a good one to pull up because that one's going to be I really think that Dan Hooker kind of showed a lot of heart in his last fight.
Dan Hooker looks great at 155. Dude fought at 145 before that.
Yeah.
And his last fight with Ross Pearson.
Weight
fucking
cuts.
Just knee the dome. He looked great.
Yeah. Weight cuts are actually a very big thing. 145, obviously not the guy's optional weight or optimal weight. So you got to fight a guy in Mark Diakese who kind of needs to get a win here.
Well, he suffered his first loss of his career at a fight that I was at.
Okay.
At the Ultimate Fighter Redemption. It was a split decision loss for him.
Right.
Which is good for him. I mean, when you get that first loss out of the way, a split decision loss might be a little tough to swallow.
He can bring the battle, but God, Dan Hooker he's got a lot of talents if he can keep it standing.
I think both of these styles are going to match up really well, and this could be your fight of the night.
When we get to the last two, and this is the reason to buy this card or these two fights,
especially now because everyone's made weight.
Everybody made weight, and that's the
but
problem.
It's still Friday.
Yeah.
If I've learned anything this year, it's that fights can be called day of.
Yeah, and don't buy the pay-per-view until about 6 o'clock.
Yeah. No, fuck that. 8 o'clock. Buy it after it's started.
Yeah.
Khabib Nurmagomedov fighting Edson Barbosa, and I'm sure the winner's going to get a lightweight title shot.
Yeah, against
probably Tony Ferguson.
Tony Ferguson. It's not going to be Conor. Yeah.
The only way these guys get fucked is if Conor comes back and fights Tony this year, which I don't think it's going to happen.
I would say, no. We're not going to see a Conor fight.
And it pains me to say it because on Tuesday I'm no longer a Conor McGregor fan.
Right.
On Tuesday I become a UFC fan.
Sure.
An MMA fan. A fan of the sport in general, not a fan of any particular fighter.
Right.
Because they just break my heart every time.
I would say that I think Nurmagomedov, his goal is to try to get this thing to the ground because Barboza has no answer.
That is always his goal.
But the thing is, what Barboza does is he keeps people dangerously outside and throws terrible leg kicks. This is the only guy, I think he's tapped like 3 guys because of leg kicks.
Oh, God, yeah. He's I mean, he got subbed by El Kukui.
Yeah.
But I mean, that guy is now the current champ.
Yeah.
Beat Pettis, beat Melendez, sent Beniel Dariush to Night Town and probably knockout of the year. I rarely get to see a flying knee where the guy doesn't project himself forward. He just basically jumped straight up in the air as Beniel Dariush was shooting in.
Yeah.
And put him to sleep. It was amazing. Probably knockout of the year. He seems to be hitting that resurgence, because Barbosa has been around for a while. I think his first fight is at 123.
Well, I would say this too. I mean, if I'm self-serving, Rumble Johnson was my favorite fighter.
By the way, I heard that.
And when he retired, then do what?
I thought I heard Ruben fart
through
the microphone.
Yeah, well, those are some pretty good headphones you have. I guess.
Damn, they're that good.
Behringer's badass, dude. I'm telling you.
But I would say that
monitor asshole activity.
That when Rumble Johnson retired, I thought, well, I don't think I have a favorite fighter, and then I readjusted and said, wait a minute. Yeah, I do. It's always been Edson Barbosa because he's basically like the Brazilian equivalent of Rumble in some ways at that weight
and
class.
he's Brazilian, which is really weird for you.
For me, it is, yeah.
I mean, it's tough to find a Brazilian that it hasn't been burned by USADA to really get behind.
Right, and Edson Barbosa's your guy, though.
Yeah.
Edson Barbosa and Thomas Almeida.
Right. I mean, I remember that fight with Cerrone, where Cerrone subbed him when he was on this lightweight tear.
Yeah.
God, he's a different fighter now.
Oh, yeah.
He's gotten nothing but better.
That kick, he's got the fastest front kick pretty much in all of the UFC.
Yeah. And to talk about Khabib for a second, dude has beaten Michael Johnson, which everyone in the lightweight division has beaten Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson's the if you want to be a lightweight, you have to beat Michael Johnson.
He is the top 10 gatekeeper. Outside of that, the biggest name he's beaten is RDA, and that was to a decision win.
And everybody talks about how great he is. Yeah. Well, because
Gleason
mainly
Thibault, Thiago Tavares, Abel Trio, all fighters that are not really super relevant in top 5 right now. This is his biggest test.
All fighters that are big strikers, though.
Yeah. And Barbosa can do both. He can do both.
Yeah, I mean, striking that's where he's going to win the fight. It's going to be on the feet. Yeah,
yeah, and I don't think Khabib's legs are going to be able to withstand the Barbosa storm of leg kicks coming his way.
Right, and if anything, you have to root for Barbosa because if you're on any social networking anywhere, especially Instagram and on Cowboy Cerrone's feed, the Khabib fans are ridiculous, horrible at grammar, obviously all Russians. It's terrible.
They're all Yakov Smirnoff, basically.
It is terrible. Khabib time, blah, 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 blah. And then they were trying to get Cowboy Cerrone to fight some Suleimanov guy or something like that. You can all go fuck yourselves. Cowboy Cerrone is a veteran. He's not going to fight some asshole that just now wandered out of the goddamn North Pole.
No, he's busy sacrificing his career to the Young Bucks.
Apparently. You can ask Darren Till.
I'm hoping for a Barbosa win, and I'm hoping for a Barbosa finish.
I hope for a Barbosa tap due to leg kicks. That's what I hope for.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to play anymore. I want to go home.
I want to see Khabib just start crying in the middle of the octagon.
And Edson Barbosa and Tony Ferguson, that could be a really good fight.
That'd be a good fight because the second time around.
Yeah, not a fan favorite fight, but it's the right fight.
It's the right fight.
Main event.
Some dude fighting Holly Holm.
Final UFC title fight of the year. Chris Cyborg fighting Holly Holm at 145 for that featherweight strap.
I'm taking the lady that doesn't have a penis.
I don't know, man. It's Albuquerque. She might have got herself one.
Only she's hanging out in Central.
I'm more stoked. I mean, honestly, I want Holly to win just because I'd like to see. I mean, we're all waiting for that day when Cyborg gets cracked.
This might be it because
I think this is it.
Cyborg is fighting somebody that is a hell of a counterpuncher. The problem was with Holly Holm fighting Betch Correa.
Yeah,
was there wasn't a lot of counter striking opportunities in that fight. They just danced.
Right,
that was a boring fight. When she fought Jermaine Durandamy.
Well, until she landed that head kick and put Betch on her ass, and then fucking came in with that hook and put her on the ground. It was pretty beautiful right then.
But it is
up to that. It was pretty boring.
But it's an annoying trait of a counterpuncher.
Yeah,
a counter striker, I should say, because Holly Holm's most dangerous counter strikes sometimes are predicated by like a side kick or
like
roundhouse.
Feint a hook and then it's a head kick coming now.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And Cyborg will bring the pressure. Because she knows she's the best striker right now.
And she will offer up plenty of opportunities for Holly Holm to beat the shit out of her. Yeah. That's the thing. I think she's so dumb. And you heard me right. I think she's so dumb I think the Cyborg is going to keep pressing forward, and she's going to take shot after shot after shot, hoping she lands the big one. And if Holly Holm remains elusive, that's going to be a bad night for Cyborg.
It's going to be the Rousey all over again.
And it might be.
It's going to show what kind of champion Chris is by if she does come in and play it right and take her shots when she takes them instead of going for that swarming, storm of an attack. She might have a pretty good night as well. It'll just all be on that tank. I do feel like she's going to come in and just try to terminate her.
I think the best chance of Cyborg losing is against Holly Holm.
Yeah. Yeah, this is her biggest fight.
Where's that put Holly Holm in history then? If she gets the win,
division female champion,
beat Rousey, beat Cyborg, but can't defend a belt.
Well, if Cyborg does lose, I'm sure she'll rebound a lot better than Ronda Rousey did.
Oh yeah, I think so. Ronda Rousey's a basket case
because
here.
ain't no one looking for Cyborg to be in the Expendables.
And if Travis Brown's your idea, no, I'll leave that alone.
That's podcast another time. But yeah, I would like to see Holly Holm bring home the belt and another epic.
Another big parade in
Short
Albuquerque.
but epic. Yeah, oh my God. No, fuck that, man. You got another guy from Albuquerque fighting on the card, too, by the way.
They don't care about Carlos Condit. They don't care about
bullshit.
Him. Albuquerque does not care about Carlos Condit.
Oh,
they only care.
Just like George Bush doesn't care about black people?
But
Christ
almighty. We want to wrap this up before we get ourselves in trouble.
Yeah, I want Holly Holm to win. I am going to pick Cyborg.
Yeah. Well, that's a safe pick. If I had money, if I was in Vegas with an extra $100 in my pocket, that's going on home.
Damn right. Oh, man, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's only tomorrow.
Well, Happy New Year's, you bunch of supporters, fans.
Bunch of dirt worshiping friends.
I just want to make Ruben feel uncomfortable for a moment.
That's right. Yeah, it's been a good year, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The music has been great. MMA has treated us well. The Mead has done very well, and about 1/3 of all of our favorite things are really responsible. Thanks to you folks.
That's right.
Happy New Beer.
Could not have done it without yous. It wouldn't have been as fun.
That's it. Yeah, it'd be really lame to do this shit just for our health.
And now the birth weekend begins.
Birth weekend for
Well,
Brandon.
actually, I think we started at...
I think you started last week because you said it's bullshit because it would end up on a Monday.
That's right. So it was like a birth week and a half.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. Let us know your top threes because, fuck, we don't know anything. So let us know.
Top three
threes.
anything.
Top three Mead, top three metal, top three MMA.
Top three fast food choices.
That'd be all right. Top three movies because we don't get out and see any movies
That's
anymore.
right. Ash versus Evil Dead. He Never Died that had Henry Rollins in it. I recommend that quite a bit. I'm going to drink this rye now.
Oh, I thought you were like giving a spoiler at the very end.
Oh, no. I highly recommend.
By the way.
No, that's the name of the movie. He Never Died.
Okay. All right.
And Vikings. Vikings is tits.
Okay. All right. That's it. Thanks for the 2017, you bunch of heathens. It's been fantastic. 2018 is going to be nothing but better. Shit, we might even make this visual, which may be a good thing or a bad thing for some of you.
Yeah, we'll judge that based on response.
That's right. Number one album picked by us. The geniuses on this little particular threesome here tonight.
God damn. And the greatest song of the year.
Yeah. Paul Bearer, Heartless, and the song is a plea for understanding. Turn it up on your own time. We'll see you again in 2018 from the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast.
Thanks for coming, Ruben.
Thanks for having me here.
Now go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself, everybody.
Shut up now. You be
Happy
quiet.
New Year and goodbye.